So I find it weird that the concept of idealism lately is seen as being unrealistic, naive, and some even go as far as to say being childish. People have become comfortable with the idea that hope and striving for change is just not a trait that is worth having and is futile. And that the characters who represent this are not worth following or interesting to engage with and watch. But what makes a hopeful character engaging to watch? And what defines a character to be even seen as hopeful? Any character with agency that seeks to achieve something could be argued as a hopeful character, right? No, I think it's more than that. Enough so that if we were to take characters in general and simplify them to just idealistic and realists, that you would find most people would look to the latter and say they are cooler and more fun and just they are the characters they want to see on the big screen or on TV. Most favorite character lists would include more of that right-hand side than the left. Most people, I find, say Punisher over Daredevil, Homelander over Supes, or a Batman who kills over one who doesn't. It's gotten to the point where people say it's more realistic if someone like Batman were to kill his rogues gallery. The idea that change can only come from great suffering or a sacrifice and forsaking your humanity. I just completely reject this notion. So how do you go about making a hopeful character interesting and engaging? Let's talk about how to write a hopeful character. When thinking of hopeful characters, the one I think most represents this idea is obviously my man,
Superman.
It's July as of writing and hopefully as this releases, and I am Superman pilled to the fucking core. Every waking minute, it's Superman. The Hope Core edits flood my TikTok feed, and I think that he does represent the idea perfectly. Though, he also captures the nuance in the video's title, because he also represents what it is not. Now, while yes, the S on his chest since the early 2000s literally means hope, and the first time I saw that was Man of Steel, but reading around, that's kind of fucking everywhere now from what I know. Hope is more than just believing things will get better. These characters enforce the change they want to see.
People apply this concept of hope to Superman, and while I appreciate it and I get what they're talking about in this almost Christ-like messianic sense that Superman can sometimes have, I think that's the wrong approach. And to me, the Superman doesn't sum up hope. Superman's keyword is action. He didn't appear in Hope comics, he appeared in Action comics.
This is perfect. Superman punches the bullies. This is what makes the active choice we as the audience make to read or to choose to just interact with these stories so great. We see the injustice in these stories, whether it be in these early comics of the greedy businessman or the Klan. These characters represent standing up for the little guy. When characters like Supes or Spider-Man are at their best, it is specifically this notion that is firing on all cylinders.
Superman is not someone who just floats in space, ethereal in his cape flying, and suggests somewhere we could eventually reach. Superman says, no, do it now. Action. Superman is a physical figure. He moves through the world in a very physical way and he gets shit done. And I think that's way more important.
Superman is touted as being boring, overpowered, and that his stories lack weight. And at no point in even just like a mid-Superman story will this ever be an issue for you, let alone his better stories and long runs that are successful. If you stay on like power scaling TikTok, sure, he's one of the strongest characters in fiction, and just none of it's relevant, I don't think. Like, engage with what him holding the heavens actually means narratively. And if you want to dive into how fucking heavy this thing is, sure, calculate that using DC's cosmology scaling. Like, a lot of people do that. And look, I follow a bunch of them on TikTok, so like, I enjoy indulging in that content. But to use it as like a reason to hate on Superman, like, I'm tired. I'm tired of using this as one of their reasons as he sucks. He's too powerful, he's too nice. No one is ever that nice. There's no reason to be nice. Like, come on. Like, just say, hey, I want to be an asshole. Like, really. Superman should honestly be what we all aspire to be. With his actions, we see the world that we can all help shape. That is the draw. Superman's stakes aren't human level. You're right. Dreams are good. Dreaming of a better world is good, and everyone should dream to make their own little bubble that revolves around your family and your friends and just everything. If everyone just did that, we would be in a much nicer place. To this notion, many will say, "You're living in a dream world!" And fuck me, I could not respond better than how Clark responds to this petty, weak-willed, and honestly, pathetic mindset.
Good. Dreams save us. Dreams lift us up and transform us into something better. And on my soul, I swear that until my dream of a world where dignity, honor, and justice are the reality we all share, I'll never stop fighting. Ever.
Acts of rebellion are some of the most common forms of idealism and hopefulness we see in fiction. Take a character that's going up against a regime. It's totalitarian or fascist in nature to some degree, and through the means of the plot, they blow up the super weapon, they kill the big bad, and society begins to heal. Story over. Throw in some World War II imagery and call it a day. For me, it's when the subject is tackled with nuance and isn't as simple as what I just described, is where it becomes really intriguing. And for me, someone who represents this the best, and yeah, bias does come into it, I think it's
Optimus Prime.
In the previous section, we talked about its actions that define hopeful characters, the act of stepping in and getting involved in change. But what does this look like when we are talking about the oppressed or the angle of rebellion? As shows like Andor have shown, acts of rebellion aren't clean and nice. It's dirty, it's mean, and sometimes people get hurt, they die. It's in these times of despair that characters like Optimus shine brightest. In a war spanning millions upon millions of years, Prime stands tall as an example of someone fighting nobly and with honor for those who can't defend themselves. Killing Megatron does not end the conflict. It's just as much as an internal battle as an external one, which makes the conflict even more engrossing. I think Transformers Prime explains this best, so I'm going to quickly explain that. Over the course of the show, Megatron, its main antagonist, is out of the picture quite a bit through early season 1 and after the show's when it's finished. The antagonists, the Decepticons, are still active, they're still doing horrible things, and they're still operational. Tyranny still exists in this war of Autobots versus Decepticons. And while yes, Optimus many times in the show does go for the killing blow, a lot of times, these are always shown to be when he's starting to falter and trying to uphold himself. And I think it's that push and pull is what makes it gripping to have these characters have a strict code, and by the end of the show, when Megatron is dead, Optimus really wished he could have changed his mind.
It's just a small part of me hoped to change Megatron's mind, not extinguish his spark.
And as Transformers 1 has gotten more popular, you saw how close their relationship was before they became adversaries. And throughout the show, Optimus tries to recruit so many of the Decepticons. Most notably is Starscream and Dreadwing, but that's always the aim. It is that, we can end this if we just join together, and that's what makes it so interesting. And then when you get to the last movie, Megatron is resurrected by the evil incarnate Unicron. He takes over his body and the entire movie plays out. But by the very end, when Unicron is sucked out of his body and it's just Megatron again, right? Starscream comes in and goes, yes, you're alive, you're looking great. Now we can go back to being how we were, the Decepticons. The powers that may be. This is unbelievable. A new era of tyranny. Megatron just responds like this.
No!
What? Why?
Because I now know the true meaning of oppression, and have thus lost my taste for inflicting it.
The actions these characters take always change the world around them. Superman, his presence brings hope. Optimus, as well, when he walks into a room, people go, oh, thank God. Prime's here, thank God. I think leadership characters are an entirely different form of hope, and the requirements are so very different. And the line between Optimus Prime and Paul Atreides from Dune It's not that far apart. The fight to be good, the need to stay by a code. Is there a right way of doing things, or is there just winning? In the latest Transformers run, when first arriving to Earth, Prime is witnessing for the first time just the raw beauty that the planet has to offer. Its nature takes him aback. It's like, wow. He then hears a crunch. He stands on a poor innocent deer. This showcases explicitly the size and weight these characters have on Earth, that their mere presence is unnatural and they will trample on the life beneath them. And like, the war is on such a mass scale that all war, for the story of Transformers, it's something that will potentially decimate the planet, as look, even our wars on our own planet do, but especially for the race of Transformers as it did to their homeworld. It conveys the gravity of every step Optimus will take moving forward. He'll inspire others, including humans, to join the cause, and this weight is something he must bear. How he handles this is what separates him from many incarnations of the character. You take this character that is so strong enough that he can be gentle too. That is what makes him such a great leader and hopeful beacon, the perfect representation of idealism. Does this all sound naive? Yeah, it really does. Like, it does, and I love every second of it. And this next character will take all of these things I've been talking about and dial it up to 11. Because when did it become uncool to like these types of characters? To think that redeeming people using all your effort and might isn't just the coolest thing a hero can do.
Believe it!
Oh, I know you did horrible things to me. Every part of my heart is saying, kill him, get revenge, get vengeance. They took all of this from me. No one has ever treated me right, so why? Why not go headfirst into getting everything I seek?
I want to kill you so badly I can't stop shaking!
Yet putting all that aside, to know that there is only one way to stop the cycle of violence, to stop war, it's that it has to start somewhere. Someone has to draw that line in the sand. And the funniest part about using Naruto as my example, as him and Soups were the entire reason I'm making this video in the first place. I told you, I'm Superman pilled, but I'm also Naruto pilled right now. And that, it's funny because I haven't finished Naruto Shippuden yet.
This joke of yours isn't funny at all!
I have been actively watching it for about a year now, because I want to cover more anime and I need to watch one of the big three. Like, I have to have that under my belt if I'm going to cover shonen or just anime in general. And I just knew there were going to be times where I need to cite one of them as an example. It's like the benchmark of like, cool, this new thing's come out. This is what the big three did, and use that as, yeah, a benchmark. And then like, here I am, having only just finished the Pain arc, and already I am seeing the makings of a character that speaks to me like on a truly special and spiritual level. Naruto's efforts to speak to Nagato and reason with him, the crying to Minato about his upbringing, how fucking painful just everything is and was.
I just wanted people to accept me, or at least not hate me, so I trained really hard to become as strong as I could. But just when things were looking up, a group called the Akatsuki came after me. Damn it, am I supposed to be happy or mad? I don't even know.
All that to still represent all that it means to be a good shinobi. Pain had taken fucking everything from him.
There's no way that I can forgive you. I still hate you.
Jiraiya, Kakashi, the village, yet the Leaf did the exact same thing to him as a child. A perfect cycle is on its way to complete its first fucking loop. And Naruto could have ensured that it started its second and it'd just be on its way. But no, that isn't the person he is. Naruto, up until this point, was already my favorite character. Watching him just plead and beg. This is a character who, mind you, through self-admission, is not intelligent.
Everyone expects so much of me. I mean, look at me. I'm not smart. I'm not a great ninja. I'm just me.
Monologues and moving speeches of altruism are not his strengths, like Soups and Prime before him. What he has is the size of his heart, and that's his primary tool. It's just exposing that and just trying to use it. And each of the heroes I speak of in this video try to save their antagonists from themselves. Like, we got Naruto with Pain, and I could go on with Naruto with so many of his antagonists. But in Optimus, in just Prime, and obviously many incarnations, you have with Megatron. And Superman, it's a little bit more nuanced with, you know, his relationship with Lex Luthor. In All-Star Superman, he says, "You could have saved the world years ago if you had cared." Getting Lex to see the world through his eyes, just, it sits with me. Like, that's such a powerful and potent ending. Heroes, the way I see them, are more than just throwing the hardest punch. Being the strongest and winning via might it's good and all, right? It's a classic trope, is the power of friendship, and while some cases, yeah, the execution sucks. I do get that idea. But the message behind the strength and unity will always beat tyranny of the few is always a story that I think should be valued. The one thing I know about the ending of Naruto is this. I know he becomes Hokage. Like, no shit. Like, that's like the one thing that, even if you don't know Naruto, you know, oh, he wants to become Hokage? He does. Well, big spoiler. But something I've seen so far, and I know will continue even to its sequel series, Boruto, is his nature to make everyone around him just want to be better.
When I'm with Naruto, he makes me want to follow him, to walk by his side, no matter what.
The same way people look to Clark or Prime and go, man, if they can do all these amazing feats of accomplishments, and I just gotta try. That's all they expect from me. Whether it be Zabuza or Gaara or Pain or fuck, just the entire village. Naruto leaves a positive impact on all of them. And more than just being stronger than most, he brings a level of optimism that does nothing but put a smile on my face. And hope that I can try to be more like him. Hopeful characters are my favorite journeys to go on when it comes to stories. Their narratives are ones of great sacrifice and determination. The greater the force against them, the greater the euphoria is when we finally reach that reality, the reality of their mission being realized. I know it probably would have been way better to wait till later to include a character like Naruto in a video like this, you know, when I've actively finished the show, but he has been my hyperfixation as of late, as well as Superman Summer being, you know, at its peak. I just wanted to take these 10-20 minutes to champion a type of character that I often see being shat on, and just, I'm sick of the childish and naive stuff. Being hopeful means taking actions that lead to a better tomorrow and lifting those around you to that better world, and making you an active participant in the story, taking their messages and their actions into the real world to grow to. Down below, I just want to hear your favorite character that fits this description and the lessons they've taught you. Like, the one that I hated that I didn't cover the most was Thorfinn. Like, if this video could be 25 minutes longer, I would have just spoke about him and just gone about how, you know, specifically his internalized hope and how that shapes people, because that's such an interesting conversation. Thank you to my patrons for supporting the channel. If you want to support us or just, you know, help us out, there's a link below to check out our Patreon. You get the scripts, you get special privileges in our Discord. Yeah, help us out if you want to, and peace out.